guys, so today I'm going to be showing you my daily nighttime pet routine. Routine videos are definitely one of the most highly requested videos I get on my channel, and I've never done one before, but since I have taken a little break from YouTube recently, I thought it'd be perfect to come back with a routine video. So hopefully you guys will enjoy this video and see my routine. I'm not going to be doing a full daily routine, I'm just going to be doing the nighttime routine. The main reason for that is I do most of my stuff in the night. There are some pets that I take care of in the morning, like Lola, my blue-tongued skink, because she is out and up during the day, but the majority of my pets are nocturnal, so it just works out best for me and them to do most of that in the evening. Also, I am gone at work all day, so it's just easiest for me to do stuff at night. During the day, I'm at work trying to make money so I can take care of these guys. So I am at work all day making money to take care of my pets. If you're looking for a way to make money taking care of your pets, I definitely suggest checking out rover.com and signing up to becoming a pet sitter. Look at that very smooth transition I did. Yes, today's video is sponsored by Rover. I'm sure you guys know them. I have worked with Rover a couple times in the past because they are an amazing company. If you don't know, Rover is a huge pet sitting company. They're in the US, Canada, and they're actually in the UK now. So you can hire people to come over for the day and watch your pets, or if you're going out of town for the weekend, they can come and stay with your pets or just walk your pets while you're at work. And in the past, I've told you all about those great services, but like I said, Rover is also a great place to make money because you can also sign up yourself to become a sitter on Rover. So if you're looking to make a few extra bucks yourself, you can actually sign up to become a sitter. The great thing about Rover is you can set exactly what you want to do and your rates and your hours, so it's super flexible. So if you only want to work on the weekends, you can do that. If you only want to walk dogs, you can do that. Or if you just actually want to be a dog boarder, that is an awesome option because dog boarders actually make about twice as much on Rover than if you don't offer that. So it's definitely a good way to make some extra money and hang out with some awesome pets at the same time. So if you guys are interested in signing up for Rover, there will be a link down in my description like always, so you can go sign up either to be a sitter or if you just need someone to watch your own pets. So thanks again to Rover for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get into my nightly routine. So I'm actually not going to be showing all of the pets in this video because this is mainly a maintenance routine. It's not a bonding routine or when I get them out for playtime or anything. This is just what I do on a normal basis to take care of them. Also, a lot of my pets don't require daily maintenance, like my snake behind me, Pippa. She definitely doesn't need fed or anything every day. So this is just a typical day. I don't do all of these things every night, but on a general night, this is a rundown of what I do. So one of the first things I do after getting home from work is I tend to take care of my dogs first. Of course, the first thing I do as soon as I step in the house at night is let them outside to go to the bathroom. After that, I feed them dinner. Ellie and Steve both eat kibble. Their main diet consists of the Canidae Pure C, which is an amazing food. Ellie's actually a really picky eater and that is the only food she'll eat. So I just feed my dogs their dinner before I head into the pet room where I take care of everybody else. Once I'm in the pet room, I have plenty to do. Like I said, it depends on the night because I don't do everything every night. I tend to take care of the small pets first. So with my hamsters, I feed them every other night. So I just give them a mixture of their seed mix, which right now is the Vitacraft Vitanature, along with the Missouri rat and mouse pellets. I'll also either fill up and give them fresh clean water, or I'll just check their water bottles to make sure they're still working. And I'll also do a little bit of spot cleaning. I don't spot clean every night, but Mr. Fluffy Butt in general likes to go to the bathroom up on his shelf where I don't really leave bedding, so I do spot clean that very frequently. I don't fully disinfect every night, but I'll at least get all the physical particles or matter or poo. I'll clean that out and make sure it's all nice and clean. Usually I'll give Mr. Fluffy Butt a treat because he loves getting his treats and he always comes out and waits for one. And that is basically all I do on a nighttime routine with my hamsters. Like I said, I'm not including the bonding or playtime or anything in this video. It's just the maintenance. So maintenance wise, that is what I do with my hamsters in the evening. After the hamsters, the only other small pets I have are the gerbils, chicken and waffles. You might notice they have a weird looking cage in this video. I actually have a full video coming up very soon talking about this big expansion I gave them and showing their new cage. But in general, my gerbils are probably one of my lowest maintenance pets. All I do every night is either give them fresh water or make sure their water bottle and everything is working fine. And then I feed them the Vitacraft food just like my hamsters. I actually don't give my gerbils a food bowl just because they tend to make a mess. They put all their bedding in it and it just doesn't work out. So I do scatter feed because it's easier for me and it gives them a lot more to do and it's interactive for them and they really seem to enjoy it. So they get to forage and find their foods and it just keeps them busy because my gerbils have so much energy. After I take care of the small pets, it's time to move over to the majority of my work, which is my reptiles. I do have a decent amount of reptiles, but luckily in general, reptiles are very low maintenance. Also, most of the reptiles I own are the starter pets, which I don't really like that word, but they are generally easier reptiles to care for, so they're not too intensive care. So not taking into account the bonding and social time, their care doesn't take very long at all in the evening. So first I usually feed my leopard geckos because as soon as I come in the room, Piper is usually out and waiting for me. Piper is pretty much like a dog. She listens better than my dogs. So I take care of my leopard geckos first. The main thing I do with them is just feed them. So before I do that, I have to get all their insects ready and I have to dust them and everything. I feed my reptiles a variety of insects. Tonight I'm going to be using superworms, but I feed superworms, mealworms, dubia roaches, crickets, hornworms, but those are generally my go-to insects, and I do always dust my insects before feeding. I use a variety of different calciums and vitamins to make sure they're getting everything they need and they're very healthy. So once all these superworms are dusted, I go ahead and feed. I usually do feed Piper first because like I said, she's always waiting for me. I also tongue feed all of my leopard geckos just because they're not very good hunters. Every once in a while I will let a worm go and they can chase it a little bit, but they're not super quick to catch them. Also, I just prefer tongue feeding because I think it's so much fun and I think it's kind of a bonding experience. I'm sure my geckos don't care, but for me personally, I just really enjoy that process of feeding them by hand, so that is why I continue to use tongs with all of my leopard geckos. After I feed them, I just check them water, give them fresh water, and if I notice they're getting ready to shed, I will make sure to mist down their humid hide and make sure everything is good to go with that. I generally use paper towel in their humid hide, so I will just switch that out and make sure it's nice and humid so they don't have any issues with shedding. After the leopard geckos, it's time to take care of not only the crested geckos, but the gargoyle geckos. I always bunch these together because their care is basically the same. They are very similar animals because they do come from the same environment in the wild. So I currently have 2 crested geckos and 2 gargoyle geckos. My crested geckos are Harper and Jorge, and then my gargoyle geckos are actually behind me right now. Both of them are due for cage upgrades. So I have Pickle right here. He's gonna be in this cage for still a while because he is pretty small. And then I have Patty over here, who is my recently adopted gecko. She is an adult, so she's definitely due for an upgrade, and that will be coming very soon. But what I do for them is I just get their food ready. Their main diet consists of either Pangea or Rapashi. I like to feed a wide variety, so I have many flavors of both, just so they don't get bored and they have a nice varied diet. So I'll just mix that powder with some water. I usually keep it a little bit runny because it does stiffen up a little bit as it sits. And I always make a giant mess with this, but it's fine, it's easy to clean up. So I make all of their food, and while I'm feeding them, I will also give them fresh water and change that out. And then I will also go through and clean any of the glass I need to clean because I have a couple geckos, Jorge in particular, that loves to poo on the glass, which is a lovely thing for a gecko to do. So I'll clean the glass, and then I'll also spray them down to make sure their cages are nice and humid because they are going to come out in the nighttime to play and be active, so I want to make sure their humidity is up, and then they are good to go for the evening. After the crested geckos and the gargoyle geckos, I have Fiona the Pac-Man frog. A lot of the time she will eat the same things as I feed the leopard geckos. Sometimes I'll give her something different because I do feed her a lot of earthworms, but on this particular night she was eating superworms right along with the leopard geckos, so I just dust them the same way as I do the leopard geckos, and I tongue feed her also. I have to be really careful when I feed Fiona because she not only has awful aim, she has an extremely high feeding response, so she tends to attempt to eat the tongs quite often, which is why I use the rubber tip tongs. They are just a little bit nicer on her mouth, so she's not just biting down completely on metal. But Fiona never misses a meal. She's always ready to eat for me. But after I feed her, I just mist her tank down also to make sure everything is nice and humid and her substrate is nice and damp. And the very last pet I deal with in the evening is Pippa, my Kenyan sand boa. I do have a video coming up on her also because you guys don't see her very often. But like I said at the beginning, she doesn't eat on a daily basis, so there's not too much to do with her. Usually I will just check her water and give her fresh water. And if she happens to knock anything over while she's out zooming around at night when I'm asleep, I'll just rearrange everything and make sure her temperature and everything is good to go, but she's very extremely low maintenance. So I think that is it. The only pet I don't really do much with at all in the evening is my blue-tongued skink Lola, because I do most of her stuff in the morning since she is awake during the day, so I feed her and everything in the morning. Also, all of my lighting and my heat sources are on timers, so I don't have to worry about turning anything on and off. And of course my camera just died right when I was getting to the end of everything, so I guess I've been rambling too much. But like I was saying, that is basically everyone. Everything is on timers. I'm not sure if that got cut off beforehand. So overall my maintenance itself doesn't take too long, even though I do have a large amount of animals. Most of them are fairly low maintenance, and I do have a pretty good routine down, which definitely saves a lot of time when I know exactly what I need to do every evening to make sure everyone's taken care of. So that is going to be it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, if you're interested in signing up for Rover, either to be a sitter yourself or if you just need someone to watch your pets, make sure you use the link down in my description and sign up for that. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next time.